Hi folks, welcome back. Here I have the new DJI Mic2. I'm really apprehensive about this because if you've seen my last few videos with the Osmo 360, the DJI Mic Mini or the Mic2 does not work. It distorts like crazy and there's no fix unless you use the 32-bit float within the Mic2. Like I say, this is going to be quite a short video this. I really do just want to get out on the road and see if it works. Welcome back on board. The picture you're looking at now is from my DJI Osmo Action 4, and the sound you're hearing right now is from the wired lav mic plugged into that on the front of my helmet, just so I can film exactly what is going on with the Osmo 360 here. So the first test I like to do is to show you on this Osmo Action 4 me powering up the Osmo 360 to see how long it takes for it to connect to the new DJI Mic2, which incidentally I have placed inside my helmet on a magnet. I've actually Airll glued a 5-cent coin inside the helmet for the magnet to stick to. I've covered this in previous videos, so forgive me for not showing you how to do that now. So without further ado, let's power this up on the one-touch record button. The camera is sprung into life. No sign of the transmitter there yet, and there you go. So I'd say about 5 seconds. I'll put the exact time up now on the screen of how long that took to connect. So just so you know, on this short little test right now, the sound you're listening to now and the picture you're looking at now is from the Osmo 360, and the sound is the new DJI Mic2 transmitter. I'll close the visor so I'll give it a bit of a fighting chance. I'm wearing this helmet because it's a lot noisier than my Shoei Neotec 3 helmet. So therefore I do want to challenge this little transmitter a bit, because the Mic2 and the Mic Mini does not work with this camera. I have the gain within the camera set to -12. You should be able to see all my settings now, bottom left hand corner of the screen. I've kept the voice profile just as normal. I don't believe in onboard. I think it's a gimmick to be able to change the richness of your voice and the sound within the transmitter or within the camera. I'd rather do that in post. And I have standard wind reduction as well. I'm doing between 70 and 75 kilometers an hour. So I'm giving it a fair old lash. In fairness, it's not that windy today. I'm hoping, I'm really hoping, as you all know, that this system works. This Mic2 transmitter works with the Osmo 360, because, as I've repeatedly said on my last few videos, the holy grail for me, there's another biker on a 1300 GS. The holy grail for me is to just go out and vlog, especially on my new CRF 300L with one camera. Oh, there's few other bikers all out and about, an NT 1100 as well, and a chap behind them. Not often you see bikers on this road. What are they doing on my land? Okay, let's cut this and we'll change the wind reduction to low on the next clip. Okay, so everything else is still the same apart from the wind reduction, which is on low. I absolutely haven't tampered with that voice tone system. That's still standard. The recording level, not sure if I mentioned this in the first clip, the recording level within the camera is set to -12. That's the lowest the camera can go in terms of decibels, which I think is the problem. If indeed DJI released a firmware upgrade where you could take it down to -20, I'm sure that would solve a lot of the clipping. I can see already on the camera that the audio level is way up beyond the orange into the red. So I'm not holding out much hope, I'll be honest, for this. We'll move on now to setting wind reduction into high on the next clip. So in this clip you're listening to now, the wind reduction has been set to high. I often find that onboard wind reduction leads to an overly processed sound. Now, I'm on country lanes, as you can see at the moment, so I'm not exactly doing motorway speed, but it should give us some idea of how it has affected the sound. I really hope one of these sound profiles work without having to lift the 32-bit float sound from the inbuilt transmitter. It's a great feature that this new DJI mic offers, because the DJI Mic Mini does not have 32-bit float sound. And of course, you know, even if the sound is over-modded, distorted, then you can still take that 32-bit float sound, which in many ways is your safety track, which with a much wider bandwidth, so you can rescue all of that clipping and distortion. It's just one more thing to do, as I've repeatedly said in the last few videos. I'm trying to streamline my workflow, come out with one camera and make it seamless in the edit, where the sound is recorded perfectly within the camera. So I don't have to start, you know, taking separate sound tracks from that 32-bit float and then tweaking it with a little bit of EQ. I just, you know, I'm really trying to minimize the time I spend producing videos. And here's another option. If you buy the two transmitters with the receiver in the cradle, you can then plug the receiver into the side of the Osmo 360, and get this, when you do that, the audio level within the Osmo 360 camera you can set to -20. Why can't you do that when you're just using the transmitter to the camera via the Bluetooth? Hopefully this will just be a firmware upgrade due very, very soon. And I have no doubt, because I'm looking at the signal on the screen here, it's not even going anywhere near the peaking into the orange, let alone the red. It's a very healthy green signal. So again, this has all got to be done retrospective. When I get back to the edit suite, it looks like this system will work in terms of audio signal. However, where it won't work is in rain, which, you know, that's the whole reason I want a wireless system anyway. So all of the sockets are closed on the camera. There's no lav mic sockets open anywhere. It's just purely wireless, so I can go away on a trip or a tour, not worry if it rains, not worry about any water getting into any of the equipment. So really that renders this whole system useless for me, if this is the only way that I can get decent audio from plugging the receiver into the side of the 360. Not to mention the fact, of course, that because of where the receiver is mounted, you can see the side of it now, you know, there's not even an adapter, as well, certainly not from DJI, where you can mount the receiver that way, so it stays within the stitch line of the two lenses. So unless you're using single lens mode on the 360, this is going to protrude massively into your 360 shot. So there you have it. Not great at all, was it? In fact, the best audio was when I set the wind reduction to low. At least you could pick out the vocal enhancement against the road noise, because the wind reduction does block out some of that background noise. Obviously, that's what it's supposed to do. That's part of the processing. Even when I plugged the receiver into the side of the 360 camera, it's still overmodulating, because of course the signal is being recorded at too large a signal. So even though you can take that signal within the camera, or the level rather, within the camera down to -20, it's been recorded in the first place far too high. So your only hope with the Mic 3 of recording proper broadcast quality, as I will call it, audio, is if you take the 32-bit float from the internal transmitters, which it does have, in fairness, and it is an option. It just does add another layer to your editing. I won't be using it. I'll be sticking with my lav mic from now on. But at the moment, I feel as though I've wasted another €320 of my money, because I certainly can't even use it for my day job filming, proper filming as I call it, because it doesn't have an input for a lav mic. I knew all of this. I knew all of this when I bought the system, and also that it might not work. But I was secretly hoping that this would be the answer and it would work, and just give me a one-stop shop for recording really great quality audio straight into the Osmo 360 via the Bluetooth link from the DJI Mic 3. Ah well, not to worry. we'll wait for the next release. Thanks a million for tuning in, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something from this video as well. If you did, you might think about subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be bringing a lot more of these little technical offshoots to my normal release every Saturday morning at 8 AM on YouTube. I love dropping these videos midweek, so please like and subscribe. Like I say, I'm still in search of that holy grail. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a great week, everybody. Dave Perry, WheelieGoodTV.